It's 9 o'clock. Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Kedar Karve, and I'm the Senior Product Manager at Cybertech as part of their global SAP practice. I hope everyone can see my screen and I'm clearly audible.
Yes, you are.
Great. Thank you so much. So also, may I request everyone to please mute their phone lines during the presentation. After the presentation, we will take questions as part of the Q&A session. So I would first like to thank all of you for taking the time out to be with us today as we share with you our thoughts and experience on deriving extreme value from SAP's Enterprise Asset Management. Let me introduce our guests today. I have a very distinguished panel with us. We have Steve Benner from Esri with us as our keynote speaker. Now, Steve really needs no introduction to this audience. Steve is the director in the Esri's Strategic Alliances team. He has been the pivot point for the SAP Alliance at Esri for over 20 years now. Steve has seen, worked, directed SAP integrations with geospatial systems worldwide, delivering pretty complex and mission-critical solutions. Many of you might know Steve personally as a partner in building enterprise integration solutions. Steve has also initiated Cybertech's SAP integration practice and over the years has guided us through this journey. So thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate you joining us today. We also have one more Steve joining the call with us today. That's Mr. Steve Walker. Steve Walker is the IT manager at WaterOne, one of the largest water utility companies in Kansas. WaterOne is an independent public water utility serving the Johnson County in the Kansas area since about 1957. Every day, over 400,000 customers rely on WaterOne to provide them with fresh, clean water on demand. We also have Greg Johnson, again from WaterOne with us. Greg is the manager of operations and the construction side. Now, both Steve and Greg have experienced the difference with CyberServe, the product that we're actually going to be talking about today, as they have used it in their environments and operations. So thank you so much, Steve and Greg, for joining us today. With that, I'm actually going to pass it over to Steve Benner for his opening remarks. So Steve, over to you, please.
Okay, thanks, Kedar, and thanks for your very gracious introduction of me. Thanks for joining us today. I do look after our corporate alliance with SAP and work very closely with them on product development and building a joint ecosystem. Cybertech is a gold partner of Esri and also a long-term partner of SAP for over 2 decades, I think. Today, we're going to hear from Steve Volker and Greg Johnson of WaterOne in Lenexa, Kansas. They provide water to some 400,000 people in a 270 or so square mile service area. They've been a Cybertech customer for several years, and they're going to share their experiences on the economics of data reliability and their implementation of Cybertech's Esri SAP integration platform, CyberServe, which has been implemented there and at several utilities in the U.S. Then Cybertech is going to actually give us a demo and some of the key features of their solution that address, really 4 critical needs that any asset-intensive organization has, including being able to visualize enterprise-wide assets on a map, simple map interface. I just want to see where my stuff is. They want to be able to search or locate assets based on multiple attributes, so a query of assets by manufacturer, for example. They want to be able to interact with that information in real time, perhaps even editing some of the attributes in the interface. They want, and that's whether it's on the GIS side or the SAP side. And after they've seen where their stuff are and they have some attributes and maybe made some changes, they may want to actually execute some work management transactions on the SAP side, like create a notification or a work order from the map interface. And then finally, they may want to do some kind of spatial analysis to help plan work. For example, release work orders that are in close proximity to each other to reduce travel times. And then also to execute work, they may want to do some type of routing to reduce the windshield time. So those are the four main sort of use cases: visualizing, searching and finding information, whether it's in SAP or on the GIS side, actually executing some transactions from the map interface without having to go back into SAP, and then doing some kind of a spatial analysis to plan and execute the work. CyberTech is a Esri SAP integration office that's really focused on bringing the SAP world to users in the map-centric world through this configurable web app that you'll see and a data synchronization framework that can be implemented standalone or in conjunction with other more SAP-centric integration solutions. CyberTech has many years of experience in bridging both of these worlds. I think I first started working with them in 1999, actually. They have a deep understanding of both Esri and SAP. They have an experienced team, and they speak the language of both worlds, the SAP and the GIS world. So they can help people very quickly realize the benefits of bringing these two worlds together. So at this point, so we can hear from actual users and get to a demo, I'm going to turn it over to Steve and Greg of Water One. Steve, Greg?
Thank you, Steve. We'll see how many times we can say Steve. Hello, I'm Steve Volker. I am the IT GIS manager at Water One, and I've been managing the GIS products and technology at Water One since we first started using GIS over 20 years ago. We've been using Esri products since the ArcMap desktop days, and our GIS team has managed the transition through products and versions to build a mature GIS enterprise environment. At Water One, we've been using SAP as our primary business application for the last 10 years. One of the major challenges has been how to make SAP and GIS work together. And we have used various options, including custom developments and off-the-shelf products, but with limited success. We have used a product for data synchronization between GIS and SAP, but it did not help us with the transaction processing in the field. About 3 years ago, we saw a product demo from CyberServe, from CyberTech, the CyberServe application. Our audience included our distribution and maintenance users, in addition to our IT staff. We were all impressed to see how SAP queries and transactions are processed on a map without going through the SAP screens. We mentioned to CyberTech that our business processes are not exactly the same as what we saw in the demo, but CyberTech assured us that our processes could be configured on top of the base CyberServe product. We documented our process for fire hydrant audits the way we wanted it to work in an online system and sent it to CyberTech. They configured our process, and the result is what you are going to see in this demo. The application was a great success in the field, and now I'll turn it over to my business partner, Greg Johnson, to talk more about it. Thank you.
Hello, I am Greg Johnson. I am the manager of construction maintenance, valving, and services at Water One. I've been in charge of the department for 14 years. In spite of having a GIS database maintained with our assets mapped, our challenge was to how to make use of technology in the field by our maintenance crews. We did not have any application which could be effectively used by our maintenance crews. We were frustrated that there was not a usable interface between GIS and SAP. We needed a simple, visual, and intuitive application which would handle all the complexity in the background and make it easy to use for our staff. After seeing the CyberServe demo, we felt that this product would work well with our fire hydrant audit process. We audit about 18,000 fire hydrants and the same number of hydrant valves every year. We hire temporary staff, typically college interns for the summer months, and they do the bulk of the hydrant audits. Our former process was mostly paper-based. The auditors used printed maps that they would take to the field. At each hydrant, they would record readings and observations on paper and bring that information back to the office. Office staff would subsequently take SAP notifications and enter the information from the audits. The process was cumbersome and time-consuming, and there was not a reliable query available to know which hydrants were completed and which were pending. After we implemented the audit process on CyberServe, auditors go to the field with just a laptop. They focus on the audit process and enter data online. They don't need to worry about SAP or GIS and how the data gets updated in the background. With CyberServe implementation, the process is completely streamlined. There is no paper used in this process. Data accuracy has increased, and the system is always real-time. Supervisors can easily observe where auditors are working and system status at any time. After we went live in 2013, we were able to complete all hydrant audits by the middle of August, which is the first time that that had ever happened. Normally, the process would have dragged on much later in the year. We saved a lot of staff time, improved our accuracy, and we always have a real-time picture of the audit process. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Steve Benner. Thank you so much, Steve Voker and Greg from WaterOne. Really appreciate your comments here. So team, before we begin today's demonstrations, I actually wanted to cover a few important points, but even before that, as you might notice, the invitation that we had sent out was for 45 minutes. I believe we are actually going to extend it by another 15 minutes until 10 o'clock Pacific, just to accommodate some additional requests that we received at the last minute. So the presentation will go until 10 Pacific. Appreciate if you can hang on till then. So I wanted to cover a few important points about the role of CyberServe in enterprise asset management, or simply called as EAM. Now, we heard from Greg, Steve, that typically ERP and geospatial mapping technologies are two significant IT investments that all utility agencies make. So electric, water, natural gas, rail, telecommunications, transportation, you name them, all utilities depend on ERP and geospatial systems for asset location and operations management. So while each ERP and GIS is an information powerhouse by itself, many a times we see that these systems do not work in a 100% complementary way, resulting in data duplications, mismatches, inconsistencies. So at Cybertech, we realized that if we can figure out a way to leverage the strengths of both these systems and make them 100% complementary, it would result in multifold benefit in managing the organizational assets for several of these agencies. And this essentially leads to extreme value, deriving extreme value from your IT system, and that's exactly what CyberServe aims to achieve. So you have been hearing about the word CyberServe over and over again. So then what exactly is CyberServe? So CyberServe is a ready-to-deploy asset management solution that comes with a set of pre-configured missions or workflows, if you will, which are tightly integrated with the SAP ESRI framework. So it's built in a modular way. The solution can quickly be configured to meet asset visualization and management requirements across various industries to deliver immediate results. CyberServe provides a visually intuitive, responsive, and a modern user interface with real-time back-end integration with both Esri and SAP systems. Built using the latest HTML5 technologies, the solution is completely device agnostic. You can run it on a laptop, smartphone, tablet. It works on Windows, Apple, Android operating systems. Because of the real-time integration aspects, there are no background or bad jobs that need to be executed whatsoever. The information updated through CyberServe is immediately available across the systems for immediate use. Now, as we speak, CyberServe is being used by many utility organizations, state and local government agencies, airports, and the likes. It's designed to function across various asset classes, such as point assets like water, gas, electric meters, fire hydrants, as well as the linear assets like distribution pipelines, roads, so on. In today's demonstration, we are actually going to cover two simple scenarios. So it's a two-part demonstration. The first is for point assets, and the second one is for linear assets, and all demonstrating the four important points that you see as part of the invitation, like how do I visualize enterprise-wide assets on a simple map interface? How do I search, locate assets based on multiple attributes and then interact with them in real time? How do we execute the SAP work management transactions from a map interface, such as creation and updation of notifications or work orders? And then finally, some spatial analysis to better plan and execute the work. So those are the key aspects that we would be covering as we go through these demonstrations. So with that, let's quickly start with the first demonstration. So what you currently see on your screen, and I hope my screen is clearly visible. So what we are currently seeing on the screen is the CyberServe user interface displaying a small section of the city. The square blocks marked in red are the detail pages, while the lines in green and brown, they depict the location of the water pipelines. So this interface provides visualization instantly and then helps answer the question, where are all my enterprise assets located? You can look them on the map right away. So the interface provides a standard set of tools which are fully configurable to the specific needs of the organization. They're extremely user-friendly, and even the field crew can use them, as Greg mentioned. The field crew can use them with minimal training. Now, the tools that you see on the top left are for standard navigation, allowing users to adjust the extent of the map. It also has a search field, which allows the user to search an asset by the address. Whereas the tools on the right serve a dual purpose. They act as an initialized point for executing some pre-configured enterprise asset management workflows, such as a fire hydrant audit, a valve audit, and so on. It also provides tools to spatially select assets based on certain attributes, certain conditions. We also have some standard tools like equipment search, print, legions, and base map gallery. So let's click on the base map. So base maps, such as street view, imagery, topographic, these come as out of the box. Whereas CyberServe also allows usage of some configurable base maps. Many other agencies, in our experience, use these configurable base maps to pan and zoom around a particular incident location for better analysis. As far as today's demonstration is concerned, I'm just going to continue using the selected. So let me just go ahead and close the base map panel. There you go. So today's demonstration, I'm actually going to walk you through a complete workflow of auditing a fire hydrant for a water utility. Now, fire hydrant audit is extremely important for a utility organization. As part of statutory compliances, utility agencies are required to perform annual audits of their critical assets. As we all know, most of the field assets are old and aging. So thus, proactive maintenance is extremely critical. Now, these audits go a long way in gathering certain critical parameters and thus maintaining the overall health of these assets. So the workflow which I'm going to demonstrate helps organizations save enormous amounts of time and money here. So let's actually begin with the workflow. So the field auditor would select the fire hydrant audit tool over here to initiate the audit process. You might notice upon selection, the map lights up. The dots represent the fire hydrant location, while the color, so let's look at the color of yellow. They actually represent the status of the audit process. So like yellow indicating audits in process, whereas green indicating audits that have been completed. Now, from a maintenance supervisor's perspective, simply by adjusting the extent of the map, the application provides him instantaneous details about the ongoing audits, so enabling him or her to ensure optimum allocation of field resources. So as you can notice on the map, upon adjusting the extent, we have a section in the center which shows a lot of activity, a lot of audits currently either in process or completed, whereas towards the bottom area we see a lot of audits that are currently due, marked in blue. So let's go ahead and select a particular asset which is due for audit. Now we could use the standard navigation tools or simply draw a polygon and zoom to the piece of equipment. So I'm just going to zoom using the later method. I'm just going to go ahead and draw a polygon. Let's zoom in a little further to get better clarity. So as you can notice, upon zooming in further, the fire hydrant and the associated hydrant valve are clearly visible, identified by their unique equipment numbers. Also the legend at the bottom clearly indicates the fire hydrant and the hydrant valve. So information related to prior audits of the fire hydrant can also be retrieved, simply retrieved by clicking on the fire hydrant. So as you notice, you just go ahead and click on the fire hydrant. So you can notice immediately upon clicking, the panel on the right provides a list of prior audit notifications. Now it can also provide history of any past repairs. That all that information will be extremely handy for the auditor to make informed decisions. And then all this information is being retrieved from SAP in real time and is available to the crew without navigating away from the current screen. So the technician can also view details, additional details regarding the equipment. So like the equipment number ending with 977. So to that, he can just click on the Details tab. Now, as you notice, this tab is further divided into GIS and SAP attributes. Now, the purpose of this section is to provide a unified view of all the equipment attributes from the respective systems to the field technicians, which is extremely useful. As you see, the number of fields over here are fully configurable to the organization's needs. So information like the description, the manufacturer, the parameters of the hydrant, fire hydrant, all those attributes are completely configurable and are being picked up from the respective systems. Also, depending on the user authorization, the application can permit updating these fields. And then CyberServe will ensure that the information is updated across the respective systems, thus eliminating any data duplication and ensuring complete data integrity. So once the auditor has reviewed all the information, just go back to the notification tab and can proceed with actual creation of the notification. So you can just go ahead and click on the Create Notification button. Now, also as part of the workflow for auditing the fire hydrant, we can also audit the hydrant valve. Now, if the valve has so the valve represented over here as the equipment number ending with 06. Now, if the valve, the current valve, if it has no damage, Then creating the hydrant valve notification can also be automated using this simple checkbox down here. Now this again saves a lot of valuable time. So the workflow is actually considering all the additional auditing aspects for any related associated equipments, and can help creating the required notifications. This is just an additional example of process automation. So let's continue with the audit. So as you may have also noticed, the application has automatically captured the technician's name, the correct work center. Now all this information is being retrieved from SAP in real time. So the auditor can enter any comments and then proceed with entering the audit results. So let's just enter, just click next. So the auditor can actually start entering the audit findings, some critical parameters that he has to enter while he performs the audit. You'll also notice that the system has actually auto-populated certain information depending on the workflow. Now, while performing the audit, if they observe any damage to the hydrant, they can simply select the damage code as yes, and then the application will actually create a repair notification automatically. So this is, again, another example of process automation, thereby improving the overall productivity of the organization. Let's just quickly check the damages or the concerns that were found. So this was, in this case, it was a hydrant which was slightly hard to operate. So let's click on that and hit save. So the moment we hit save, you will notice that the application has actually generated two separate notifications. The first notification confirming the audit completion, and the other one to perform the required repairs that were identified as part of the audit. Now again, by creating both these notifications simultaneously, this workflow has effectively eliminated any additional tasks, thus saving valuable time here. Also, the notifications, let's just go ahead and click on that. Also, the notification that was just created are immediately available for the staff to attend. So you can also notice the change in the color to yellow. So the newly created notifications are listed right on the top of the list. So let's just review them quickly. We'll just review the audit notification real quick. So we can click display. You can review the information that was entered, look at the audit parameters that were entered. Again, all of this information is being retrieved in real time from SAP, and all these fields are again configurable to the organization's needs. So let's go back. Let's go back to the repair notification. So you can also notice that the audit notification is marked as status notification complete. So using the same workflow, the maintenance technician can complete the required servicing for the fire hydrants, which was the second notification that was created as part of this workflow. To do that, we can simply select the notification and hit change. Okay. It also allows the technician to enter his name, any additional comments. So let's select the name, Danny. Let's say servicing completed. I can hit next to enter any additional information, and if everything looks good, we can just go ahead and hit save. Now, this basically completes the fire hydrant audit workflow, which also completes the first part of our demonstration today. So you saw with great ease, without ever navigating away from the map screen, the auditor was able to perform both his audits, take care of the repair, and move on. So as I mentioned, this completes our first demonstration. Let's proceed with the second demonstration, which is going to cover the enterprise asset management aspects for linear assets. So again, before I begin, what you're seeing here is a slightly modified CyberServe user interface than what you had seen in the earlier demonstration. Again, this one also displays a small section of the city. So you may observe some small differences as far as the UI is concerned, location of icons. However, all these icons are exactly the same as far as their overall functioning is concerned. And this is part of the CyberServe's configurable framework. So we can realign some of these icons based on the specific needs of the organization. So icons such as identify, leak notification, thematic queries, fire hydrants. So all of these are essentially the same workflows that are pre-configured as part of the implementation. Now, the scenario that we are going to demonstrate today shows how external agencies, such as citizens or customers, when they have to report a routine incident or even an emergency to, say, a centralized customer service location. So how is that kind of scenario, how is that kind of workflow being managed via CyberServe? So let's say the customer service agent from the centralized dispatch can initiate the workflow by simply selecting the tool leak notification. So just going to go ahead and select the tool leak notification. Now, upon selection, you'll notice a window pops up with some task options as well as a legend box towards the bottom left corner. The application also displays an existing leak notification represented by a red dot right in the middle of the map, also identified by the legend in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, the customer service agent, this again helps with visualization. The moment the customer service agent clicks on this particular toolbar, the application is providing him or her the latest information about what are all the incidents that have been reported into that area. Now the agent would usually want to see just recent incidences, but if needed, can review incidences over the past few months. So simply by changing the number of months, let's select 12, and then go ahead and refresh the screen. So as you might notice, upon refresh, there are few additional data points that came up, like the red and the dots and the yellow dots. The red dots representing leak notifications created, whereas the yellow dots representing leak orders created, so notifications with existing orders. Now again, all of this information is being retrieved from SAP in real time. So that's again the key point that I wanted to make out here. So let's see the customer service agent has received a phone call from a citizen for reporting an incident in a particular area. So she can simply go ahead and type the address that was provided by the citizens. So let's start typing in the address 701 4th Street, Birmingham, and you'll notice that the system is helping them with the address, the geocoding. And select the address. The moment we select the address, the application will zoom to that location. Now, once at the location, the agent can actually refresh to review all the existing notifications. So you can just go ahead and refresh the screen, look at any existing notifications. So you can notice that there haven't been any recent notifications that have been reported. So I don't see any red dots in that exact area. However, I actually see a green dot. So this is something that provides visual confirmation of no prior incident reported in this particular area. Now, this again avoids any data duplication, and this was one of the important objectives of this implementation, avoiding duplicate reporting. Now, the green dot, as I mentioned, actually indicates a leak order that was closed, so as identified by the legend. So let's go ahead and quickly select the work order and review its information. Okay, so we can see that the leak order was created some time back, and everything has been closed. So we can just go ahead and close this particular field. Now that the agent has confirmed that there is no data duplication, they can simply proceed with creation of the new notification by selecting Create on the tools, and then simply selecting a point on the map. Now, the customer service agent really doesn't need to worry about the exact location of the incident. This information will be corrected as more and more accurate information becomes available, and we'll see it as we go through the demonstration. So the application has now opened up a small window which can accept information about the incident. Now again, all the fields that you see on this window are completely configurable to the specific needs of the organization. Let's go ahead and enter the description. I'm just going to enter the description: new leak reported, detected. Now you may notice that a lot of information is pre-populated, like the detail page, which is coming from GIS, like the planner group, the SAP information, pipe ID, the address, so on and so forth. So, which again helps saving in a lot of valuable time here, and all of these fields are completely controlled by configuration. Now, the workflow also allows for immediate creation of work orders as part of the notification creation process itself. So, simply by selecting this particular checkbox, create work order. Now again, this is a step that can automate the work order creation process, and again effectively save time, improve the productivity. So let's just go ahead and quickly save this information. Just going to hit save. As you can notice that upon saving, the application has now has provided me the SAP notification number. So let's actually go ahead and check the notifications. I'm just going to go ahead and copy the notification number and navigate to the SAP screen. Let's go back to the SAP screen here in a moment. Okay, let's enter IW23, enter the notification number that we just created. Okay, and as you can see, some information about the detail page ending with 2. We can review additional information like the address and all the other information like the work center, the reported by, notification dates. All of this information has been captured and been relayed and created a notification in SAP. Now team, here I would like to make a quick mention that this step of us navigating into the SAP screen was just for the demo purposes. The user really doesn't have to come to the SAP screen. This was only to present the real-time integration aspect of the application. So let's navigate back to the map and go ahead and quickly refresh the screen. So you'll notice upon refresh, the icons will get refreshed and will have the right color. So indicating a red colored icon indicating that a leak notification was created. Now this is the only information that the customer service agent has to enter, and now it can pass this on to the planner or the actual execution for the job. Now let's assume that the planner has received this information and he has dispatched his crew. So the crew is out and about. They can zoom into this particular location and click on this particular notification to review the notification, all the fields, additional information on the notification. So the crew goes through the notification, the detail page, makes sure everything is correct. But while they were actually inspecting, they found that the location of this reported incident was actually incorrect, which often happens. So CyberServe is designed to actually allow them to correct the precise location right in the field. They can just do it while they are out on the job by using the move leak point process. So I'm just going to quickly demonstrate that. So let's go ahead and select the move leak point. As you can notice, the icon flashes. Now, the selecting the flashing icon on the map, we can simply select it and then do a drag and drop to the right pipe section. So let me just go ahead and do that. I'm just going to select, drag and drop to the right pipe section. Okay, there it is. So now you can notice that the highlighted pipe section, which is the new pipe section that got selected as part of the leak point move. Okay. The crew can, again, review certain information like the pipe IDs, the detail page. Now you can see a detail page that has changed from the one ending with 2 to a one ending with 1. Let's go ahead and quickly save all that information. You can also, the system gives a message. You can also note that the leak point got moved. Now, let's again jump in back to the SAP screen and see if all this information got updated. So we can see that the information is updated with the latest detail page. Now again, this was again not required. This is just for to impress upon the real-time aspects. User really doesn't need to verify. CyberServe takes care of this. Now that the crew has all the details, they can actually proceed with the creation of the work order. So let's select refresh this particular notification and click on the notification, and then we can go ahead and create work order using the create order button. Now again, the various icons that you see, the various buttons that you see at the bottom are again part of the configurable framework. Let's quickly create, let's enter the description. I'm just going to enter the description. Okay, and hit save. Okay, so upon saving, the application comes back with a success and indicates that a work order was created. Team, we just have a little over a minute left, so let's quickly run through one another process of creating work orders from outstanding notifications. Now, I'm just going to refresh the screen, and for me to actually create notifications from, well, let's quickly review the notification that we just entered. I can go through the information. I can look at the work order that was created. You can notice a lot of information has been auto-populated from SAP directly here. Everything looks good. I can just go back to my display notification and then cancel out from this particular screen. Okay, so let's quickly look at the one another process real quick, which is creating work orders for outstanding notifications. Now, person responsible for these kind of tasks can simply review a list of all the outstanding leak notifications using this icon over here, outstanding. Now, this is again part of the spatial reporting, which effectively would avoid the crew in making one more trip to this particular area. Thus, again, utilizing the crew's time effectively, saving the organization valuable time and money. This application can also help with the selection of multiple work order notifications and then help them with routing, which is again a time saver. So we are almost out of time. So I'm just going to quickly demonstrate this before I open up the question and answer forum. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly select the notification and just proceed with the creation of work order just as we had seen before. So the application is going to go through these steps. We can select the right icon and then go ahead and save the information, creating the notification, creating the work order. So team, with that basically completes the incident reporting workflow for linear assets. I really appreciate your time and attention on this one. Now, due to the time constraints, we only demonstrated a very simple workflow. However, the application is capable of handling much more complicated workflows across various industry verticals. It's pretty robust, yet extremely user-friendly framework. The end user of this application it could be a person who really doesn't know SAP or GIS and still can use it very effectively. Also, the workflows that we demonstrated today were configured for the specific needs of the organization. As Greg had earlier mentioned, other organizations might have different requirements, and all of those requirements can easily be configured on top of the base framework itself. So with that, I'm actually going to open up the forum for any question and answers.